Be me. Get brought to this world cause maybe my folks didn't use a condom. It could have been a small hookup and accidentally made me. And I'm just assuming all of this from the accidental hints my parents gave me. Be born as retarded son. Soon after they buy a house. Later little sister joins the mix. Parents start getting into loud violent screaming matches and sometimes in front of me and sister. Parents get divorced. As soon as the news hits, mom's side of the family starts taking her side and attacks my dad. At this point, my mom tries separate us from dad. Shit continues all while I'm forced to be in the middle of it. Become messenger for both sides. Being told to say shit about one another when they can't talk to each other. Be 9-10 yo still retarded. Shit continues until dad has kidney failure. Dad moves to home country and soon after I follow him to help him. Stay there for 3 years while separated from mom and sister. While in my stay, become more self-conscious, and social in home country. Continue as the messenger and helping dad to recover. One day mom randomly showed up and told me that the IRS/government is going to deport her unless she has both kids with her in the US. By her lie. One day later move back to the US with mom. Go back to being antisocial due to rapid change of living and scenario. Be put back to tard room in middle school making me little bit retarded again. Dad get a new kidney and moves back to the US to be by our side as much as he could. Be me in high school and not much of a retard. Mom still fights with dad. Mom gets new husband. Mom loses family home. Later a doctor tells her she got cancer. After finishing high school mom loses new house. Move to another town. Mom get into the same fights with stepdad now. This time defend stepdad with more effort and not being a pussy anymore. Prevent World War II for the most part. Mom's family still gets involved and fights stepdad. Later they come to the US to help mom, and fight stepdad face to face. I'm going to greentext how got my first job and maybe this will help. Be me. Be high schooler retard. Go around town looking for jobs after a fight with my mom. Last place I go to is a local pizza joint. Manager working there told me to come back a couple days later to meet with the boss. Be couple days later. Go in and ask about job. Boss told me to come back a couple days later and when they had a opening. Be couple days later. Boss tells me to come back on a weekend morning for interview. Be weekend morning. Go to the interview. After a couple questions told me I'm hired. Fuck yeah.png. About a year later. Still in job. Boss calls me to join a conversation between him and other manager. Boss admits to me that at first, he was just trying to avoid hiring me but I kept coming back like he told me. Said that he gave me the interview and job just so I can stop harassing them about job. And then said but ever since you joined, it's been the best decision that I made. Thank you for being an awesome hard worker man. MFW I got the job just by harassing them. MFW it became the best damn thing that happened to both of us. MFW and me and boss are basically brothers now. Give it a try, if it worked on my retarded ass then hopefully it can work on you. Best of luck to you all. Get into more bullshit drama because of the close interaction. While she gets worse, I need to take over her role to care for the house and take care of my sisters. Spend my money on medicine, food, mom's equipment and whatever my sisters needs. Mom now wants to divorce his ass and do the same shit all over again. At this point you'd think my stepdad would leave but he really cares for my mom due to knowing each other in their youth and were in love until my mom moved. Mom makes me sign some documents to put my name on the house. Told me later that it was because she hated my stepdad and didn't want him to inherit the house. Even though he's the one paying the bills and mortgage of the house. Mom dies 2 months later. The day after my dad makes me to move with him immediately. Be me now. Live with dad. Dad spies on my bank account. Sister is in HS and joins all sorts of clubs and sports and keeps me on my toes on her schedule. Tells me to go back to college and save money. Basically going to college for him and his state of mind. And I've been saving money or as much as I could. Later wants us to go to Disney World despite telling us we need to save money. Spends money on modifying his house despite telling us to save money. Now wants to buy a new house in another town despite telling us to save money. I basically working full-time for this shit and only get a day off to rest if there wasn't anything to do. Now dad says his kidney is failing him and says our stepmom will take care of him. In my head I'm calling bullshit as if I won't be having to take care of him, the payments and his care. At this point, I'm getting tired of it all. I want to be able to focus on myself since I missed out on so much due to the drama and madness. But I don't know how to leave without ending in bad terms, nor do I think I can. I want to care for my family, but it's at the cost of my childhood and late teens. I haven't been able to go on a proper date or party either. Me, Rugle 1 year ago. Was in the train returning from work. Randomly watch a young girl which was in a nearby seat. Heavily dressed, cap on her head, face hidden by mask because our country forced masks everywhere. I literally could only see her deep blue eyes. Somewhat instantly mind broke me. Had the opportunity to small talk to her. Seemed nice and not arrogant, vain. We talked of some stuff about our lives, then left the train at the same station because we live in the same area. Tried to remove her from my mind, but for some reason she hit me more than any other previous girl. As she told me her name, I decided to add her on Instagram, just to see how she actually looks like outside the eyes. WTF.exe. Literally the most beautiful girl I have ever saw. A Botticelli tier Venus. Never valued anyone more than 9/10 because I don't think perfection exists. But she's like the only 9/10. It's the kind of girl she's approached almost every minute. So as I supposed, she's barely on social medias to avoid being harassed 24/7 by simps. Just did a quick chat with her once she accepted me. Never saw or talked again in almost a year, but I end up thinking about her daily. Usually my others burns die out within days or weeks. Not this case. I wasn't by any mean ugly dude, I valued myself around 7/10, but under her inspiration I started hit the gym, eat better, dress much better, passed important exams, found a better well-paid job. Noticed random women are now watching me more, but I can't find the will to approach them because all I can think of was that one girl. Even finally found the will of writing a series of short stories I had in my mind for years but lacked the motivation to do so, until finding her as my muse. First one was about a goddess of love crushing a cocky mortal conqueror by making him falling in love for the one woman she made sure he can't conquer. You should always do as much as possible in the moment. So exhaust your opportunities, with her, even if she rejects you. Being in the unknown is the worst, it prevents you from healing. I feel kind of bad for screaming at my ex-boyfriend 2 months ago. TFW, I'm a bitch. To both genders, did I overreact? Me. 28-year-old woman that was in a relationship from June 2014 October 2022, I started HRT in 2012 and already passed by 2014. January 2021, my boyfriend tells me that he's developed feelings for someone else, but that he's still in love with me too and wants to give him time to decide who he wants to be with. This affair continues on during all of 2021 and all of 2022. I remain in a relationship because I hope so much that he will choose me in the end. He goes back and forth every few weeks on who he wants to be with, being super cold and mean during periods where he's leaning towards the other girl, and being the kindest and gentlest man in the world during periods where he's leaning towards me. October 25, 2022. He tells me that he's ending the affair with the other girl and asks me to marry him. I'm overwhelmed with joy and say yes. We decide on our honeymoon spot that night, talk about our future together, and make love for hours, something we rarely did after things went to hell in Jan 21. Afterwards, he ghosts me. I go to his apartment on November 1st to demand to know what's up. He's cold as ice, telling me that his marriage proposal wasn't real. The night before he told me that the affair was over and that he wanted to marry me, He decided that he was going to leave me for the other girl. He simply wanted to create some final good memories for both of us before doing so. I scream at him for several minutes, telling him that he's an evil bastard who's going to burn in hell and that I hate him, before leaving in tears. I don't know if my hatred and hostility was justified. I feel guilty. I feel like a piece of shit. Be me 24 years/O college student. 4/10 girl not my type at all, smoker, tattoos, piercings. She has little to no social skills and also not the sharpest tool in the shed. She's dropping obvious hints that she's into me. I'm dropping obvious hints that I'm not interested. She's been doing it for almost 4 months. Decide to make it clear, tell her in the nicest way I possibly can. I told her I'd like to be just friends. She stays silent for about 10 seconds. She says okay and leaves early. She said she was leaving cause her stomach was hurting. Message her if she's alright later that day. No reply. Hasn't been online for 2 days. I'm scared to go to the UNI tomorrow, because she's either dead or coming for my jugular. Did I make the right choice? You can't help but fall for someone. Oh, but you can. It's called being responsible. Story time. Be me, 7 years ago. Solid 5-year-long relationship. New college classmate, super cute, swart, fun, easily 8/10. Classmate gets attached to me, always wants to do group projects together, including 2-people projects. I love spending time with her. Uh-oh. I go home and think long and hard whether this means I'm falling out of love with my GF and should break up. Not really, I love her and the thought of breaking up hurts me. Immediately start to put distance between me and classmate. Classmate finds it weird and chases me a little, eventually gives up and moves on. Warm feelings for classmate quickly fade away. FFW to today, I'm married to GF and moving out to a new home where we'll be able to raise our first kid. You can't control your feelings but can control the actions that lead to the feelings. The fact that you never acted upon it suggests me that if you had, she would have cheated. Instead, she got bored of your inaction and moved on. In my case, the girl was pretty much doing the female version of acting upon, which is being flirty and making all sorts of excuses for us to be together, just waiting for me to make the move. Hello guys. I'm sorry in advance, that's cause English is not my main language, so expect in this thread some accidental mispeelings. My situation is as follows. Be me. 18-year-old brown-skin metalhead with Asperger's. Graduated from high school 2 months ago. Want to go to college and study law. Also want to study graphic design and digital illustration. Actually have a technical study about it. I made it during high school. Perfectly could try to practice both, but my depressed ass is always making excuses. I will do it tomorrow.mp3. Not shy, not ugly, tall, somewhat jacked, and even then I do not feel secure about my appearance. Family is having it tougher to get by thanks to the horrible economy of my country. Family is putting pressure on me, makes me not want to do something. Plus I have a serious pornography addiction. Guys, I'm feeling bad, but it's not the end of the world. I know things will get better. I just need a guidance or something to kickstart my energy towards this goal. Any suggestion of what could I do? Be me. PhD candidate in law. Still working on my thesis. Fine thesis from a female colleague at my university. Her work is kinda related to mine, could be an interesting read. Look her up on Google. She is actually pretty and young. Don't bother reading her thesis cause it's gonna be shit anyways cause she is pretty. Last week I got an email from her. She asks if I have read her thesis and what my thoughts are on it. I still haven't replied to her email. I don't wanna read her shit, it's like 300 pages. How do I get out of this?